Welcome, brave souls, to a journey through the most spine-chilling urban exploration spots in the United States. We're about to dive headfirst into the dark heart of America, where crumbling walls whisper tales of terror and shadows hold the echoes of unspeakable events. Prepare yourself for a detailed and terrifying adventure that will keep you on the edge of your seat for the next 10 minutes. We're talking goosebumps, shivers down your spine, maybe even a scream or two. You've been warned. Our first stop takes us to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home to the imposing and undeniably creepy Eastern State Penitentiary. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill abandoned prison. Oh no, this place was once at the forefront of penal reform, boasting the title of the most expensive prison ever built at the time of its construction in 1829. They spared no expense, folks, but luxury took on a whole new meaning within these walls.
You see, Eastern State was designed with a revolutionary approach to rehabilitation: solitary confinement. Inmates lived in complete isolation, their only companions the echoing silence and the weight of their transgressions. They say that silence can be deafening, and in the case of Eastern State, it can be downright terrifying.
Years of housing some of the most notorious criminals, years of echoing whispers and unspoken horrors have seeped into the very foundation of this place. Visitors and staff have reported disembodied voices, shadowy figures lurking in cell blocks, and an overwhelming sense of dread that clings to you like cobwebs.
One of the most infamous stories revolves around Cell Block 12. This particular block was known for its particularly harsh conditions, and it's here that the most unsettling occurrences seem to cluster. Visitors have claimed to see faces peering from empty cells, feel cold spots that defy explanation, and even be touched by unseen hands.
And then there's the story of the ghostly apparition known as Slick Willie Sutton, a notorious bank robber who once called Eastern State home. Legend has it that Willie, despite his reputation as a smooth criminal, was deeply disturbed by the isolation of Eastern State. Some say his spirit still wanders the cell blocks, forever searching for an escape from the prison that held him captive even in death. From the confines of a haunted prison, we set sail to the California coast, where a majestic ocean liner turned maritime enigma awaits: the Queen Mary. This grand dame of the seas, permanently docked in Long Beach, has a history as vast and mysterious as the ocean itself. Launched in 1934, she ferried the elite and glamorous across the Atlantic, a symbol of luxury and sophistication. But beneath the glitz and glamour, a darker side to the Queen Mary was brewing.
During World War II, the Queen Mary was conscripted into service as a troop ship, stripped of her finery and tasked with transporting thousands of soldiers to the battlefields of Europe. It was during this time, amidst the chaos and uncertainty of war, that the ship seemingly took on a more sinister passenger manifest. Stories of unexplained deaths, tragic accidents, and phantom cries echoing through the corridors began to surface.
One of the most well-known hauntings is that of Sarah, a young girl who is said to have died tragically in the ship's first-class pool. Visitors claim to hear her laughter echoing through the empty pool area, and some have even reported seeing the ghostly apparition of a child playing at the water's edge.
Then there's the chilling tale of Door 13, a heavy iron door in the ship's bowels. Legend has it that a crew member met a gruesome end, crushed to death by the door during a routine drill. To this day, visitors and staff report feeling an unnatural chill near Door 13, and some claim to have seen the ghostly figure of a sailor, his face contorted in a silent scream.
But perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the Queen Mary is the sheer number of unexplained occurrences reported within its steel hull. Whispers in the dead of night, shadowy figures darting across hallways, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched have all been reported by those brave enough to spend the night.
Our next destination takes us deep into the heartland of America, to a place where hope went to die and despair lingered like a contagious disease. This, my friends, is Waverly Hills Sanatorium, a sprawling complex of decaying buildings perched atop a windswept hill in Louisville, Kentucky.
Now, I've seen a lot of spooky places in my time, but Waverly Hills, It has a way of getting under your skin and burrowing into your bones. Built in 1910, Waverly Hills was intended as a beacon of hope for tuberculosis patients. But as the years wore on and the death toll mounted, the sanatorium became synonymous with suffering and despair.
The treatments were often as brutal as the disease, and the isolation took a heavy toll on the patient's mental and emotional states. It's no wonder, then, that Waverly Hills is considered one of the most haunted places in America.
Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported countless chilling encounters within its crumbling walls, disembodied voices, shadowy figures, and an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair await those who dare to enter.
One of the most well-known stories is that of Timmy, a young boy who is said to have haunted the sanatorium since his untimely death. Legend has it that Timmy loved to play ball in the hallways, and visitors claim to hear the sound of a bouncing ball echoing through the empty corridors. Some have even reported seeing the ghostly apparition of a young boy, his face pale and gaunt, chasing after a leather ball.
Then there's room 502, a room shrouded in chilling tales and whispered warnings. It's said that a nurse, driven to despair by the suffering she witnessed, took her own life in this very room. Visitors and staff have reported feeling an unnatural chill in room 502, and some claim to have seen the ghostly figure of a woman in a white uniform, her face contorted in an expression of pure anguish.
From the despair of Waverly Hills, we journey to the breathtaking Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where a grand hotel with a sinister secret awaits, the Stanley Hotel. Now, even if you haven't stepped foot inside this historic landmark, chances are you've experienced its chilling influence.
You see, the Stanley Hotel served as the inspiration for Stephen King's iconic horror novel, The Shining, and trust me, the reality is just as unsettling as the fiction. Built in 1909, the Stanley Hotel has long been a popular destination for those seeking respite in the shadow of the majestic Rockies. But beneath its opulent facade lies a history steeped in strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena.
Guests have reported disembodied voices, phantom piano music echoing through the empty hallways, and an unsettling feeling of being watched. One of the most haunted areas of the hotel is said to be the 4th floor, particularly room 418. It was in this very room that Stephen King and his wife Tabitha stayed back in 1974. King, plagued by writer's block and unnerved by the hotel's eerie atmosphere, had a vivid nightmare that would later inspire his chilling tale of a family terrorized by supernatural forces.
But room 418 isn't the only hotspot for paranormal activity. Guests and staff have reported seeing the ghostly apparitions of children playing in the hallways, their laughter echoing through the empty corridors. Others have claimed to encounter the spirit of Flora Stanley, the wife of the hotel's founder, F.O. Stanley. Flora, an avid pianist in life, is said to still grace the hotel's grand piano with her ethereal melodies, often late at night when the rest of the world sleeps.
Our final destination takes us to the heart of Silicon Valley, where a sprawling Victorian mansion stands as a testament to one woman's descent into madness. The Winchester Mystery House. This architectural enigma, with its twisting corridors, staircases leading to nowhere, and doors that open to brick walls, is as fascinating as it is unsettling.
The story of the Winchester Mystery House is intrinsically linked to Sarah Winchester, the widow of William Winchester, heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company fortune. Devastated by the loss of her husband and young daughter, Sarah sought solace in the world of the supernatural.
A medium convinced her that a curse had befallen the Winchester family, a curse brought on by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. The only way to appease these vengeful spirits, the medium claimed, was to continuously build, to create a labyrinthine home that would confuse and trap them. And so for 38 years, construction on the Winchester Mystery House never ceased.
The result is a sprawling 160-room mansion that defies logic and reason. There are doors that open to sheer drops, windows overlooking other rooms, and staircases that lead to dead ends.
Whatever the reason, the Winchester Mystery House remains one of the most bizarre and unsettling places in America. Visitors and staff have reported countless strange occurrences, from disembodied voices and footsteps to doors slamming shut on their own. Some have even claimed to have seen the ghostly apparition of Sarah Winchester herself, still wandering the halls of her bizarre creation.
Thanks for joining us on this terrifying tour of America's scariest urban exploration spots. We've delved into the dark heart of abandoned prisons, sailed the haunted decks of a legendary ocean liner, and explored the decaying remnants of a tuberculosis sanatorium. We've even braved the chilling hallways of a hotel that inspired a horror masterpiece and navigated the labyrinthine corridors of a mansion built by madness. If you dare to visit any of these places, remember to stay safe and always be aware of your surroundings. You never know what lurks in the shadows or what whispers echo through the silence. And if you do happen to encounter something unexplained, something that sends shivers down your spine and makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end, well, just remember, you've been warned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling adventures. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll be exploring even more of the world's most haunted and mysterious locations. Until then, sleep tight, or try to.